Hello there YouTube, I am Wheelchair21 and on today's rolling review we have S.H.Figuarts Dan Moroboshi, better known as Ultraseven. Yes, this is Koji Moritsugu's probably most definitive role when it comes to acting. The iconic Dan Moroboshi now graces the Figuarts line, which is really splendid seeing that they actually use a real shot of Moritsugi in the role. And then throughout the box, it's the actual figure, and it's displayed alongside Ultraseven, which we'll probably do a display like that a little bit later into the review. So, one good thing about it is just a really simple box art, which one can see, and the interior is pretty freaking nice also. Our interior features the actual figure, a replacement head with Don wearing his helmet, 2 pairs of additional hands, one hand holding the actual Ultra Eye, the Ultra Eye, the Ultra Gun, and the video receiver wrist cuffling that goes to the figure. It's their actual communications device, so on and so forth. Now, the cool thing about it is, these are practically all the gadgets and accessories Dan actually used in the series. There are some other ones, though, but they're more akin to the other members of the Ultra Garrison, because since they're support actors, or support characters, they need to have some cool thing about them to get them over with the audience, whereas he's our Ultra, so he's already over. Now, as for the figure, it is honestly pretty spot on. First off, let's talk about the body sculpt before we go into the actual facial sculpt and details. One thing I gotta say is the Ultra Garrison really is a huge improvement for their bodysuit and design compared to, well, the Science Patrol. Because the Science Patrol had these really funky, bright-ass orange jumpsuits, whereas the Ultra Garrison, they kind of have a more realistic, like, aerial military force regalia. They use light sky blue almost to a gray bodysuit. They have, like, leather flaps built into it, nice trimming. The only thing that I don't like about these suits, per se, is these weird little, like, cowboy boots. I've never been, like, a fan of the boot design, but I've always been a fan of the jackets. I've been a fan of the overall, like, stitching up the sleeves, down the legs. It's a really nice, like, I would say a mix between almost being like a futuristic kind of suit for, at the time it was designed, with a mix of an old-styled blend. Maybe the idea of the stitching and the boots are supposed to go with the fact that, well, Don himself, or Ultraseven, he's kind of like a wandering person. He's kind of like a vagrant. He's a cowboy. He's a bit of a Ronin samurai. He's just a wandering kind of dude because he's a I wouldn't say a choreographer. He's a what do you call those people that, you know, go around and explore and map the place? They're one of those. He's one of those guys for actually M78. He just goes around and he maps. He just maps the galaxy for them. And honestly, just the bodysuit, it's splendid. I really do love all the details, as well as the belt and holster. It's just nice. It's beautiful. I even love, like, when you get in close, how it actually has the actual, like, insignia and the spelling for, like, the Special Defense, Ultra Garrison. It's really nice. Like, just a lot of the work that goes into this suit is well impressive and amazing how they were able to capture it as a figure art. Whereas his facial sculpt, it's pretty good. I mean, it isn't the greatest design for Koji Moritsugi, or Sugu. I always call Sugi for some reason. I think it really is a good representation when he was in his 20s to 30s. It just is a little bit off because of how they sculpt and molded. I honestly think that Hiroshi Fujioka's and Kenji Oba's came out just a little bit better for their figures and a little bit more accurate. Like, I'd say Koji's is about a good 98, like almost maybe in like the low 90s to mid 90s of like accuracy, where the other two seem almost like 98 or 99.9% accurate to the actors from their on-screen portrayals as their characters in, say, Kamen Rider and Space Sheriff Gavin. But I think it holds up to be one swell design. Now, the overall articulation is pretty good. I mean, it has a nice way to hide the actual knees. It's kind of Figma-like when I look at the joint. Oh, man, that rubbery sound is kind of annoying, though. Like, oh my god, that's nerve-wracking. I was not really expecting that. Nope, no I wasn't. The ankle flows real good. The actual foot is real nice and solid. The left knee doesn't really make the creaky sound like the right knee does. The hips, holy crap. This hip is really well engineered. Like, I didn't really take a good look at it before opening it up a couple of days ago, but shit, this is a really nice, like, hip joint. It's really nicely engineered. I think, like, this is probably one of the nicest humanoid molds or figures to ever come out of Tamashii thus far. I mean, I don't have the Kenji Oba one or the Fujioka one yet, but I'm guessing they're going to be as solid as this one is, because goddamn, like, the elbows, like, shit, that's tight. The wrists, I feel like these are a little bit too small. They might break and pop off, so be careful. There's no bicep swivel, but there is a shoulder joint up here. It kind of runs off of the old Sentai Figuarts, how the shoulder connects to the, like, the shoulder plate connects to the actual shoulder of the arm. Looks really nice, really good, though. It's not as loose and wobbly as the Sentai figures have been. The elbows, like I said, are very tight, really solid mold. Like, if you're looking for something that's going to hold up and be solid, this is your guy, man. Like, the abs, everything has, like, a torque to him. Like, he's so freaking tight. It's just obnoxiously crazy. Like, this skeletal frame, I'm afraid people are going to break it or something, because they're going to either snap it or they're going to hate hearing all these weird creaking and cracking noises. That's just, my God, wonderful. I'm loving this figure. Jesus Christ. But yeah, nevertheless, though, I really think that, aside from the weird squeaking noises, it's just really good. So let's move on to our frickin' accessories. First up, the replacement head. Now, as one can see, the helmet is a really nice design. It actually looks kind of like a real Protector's kind of helmet, as well as a, like, military Air Force helmet with the, like, actual guard, how it slides down and tries to protect you, almost like a welder's mask. It doesn't go all the way down, so I don't recommend trying to make it happen. You'll end up breaking it due to how the hinge is created, and there's, like, a thing to stop it from going all the way down. Now, had it, like, slid all the way over his face and, like, kind of gone over the chin, man, this would have been one hell of a thing. But even then, I don't think the actual original prop did that either. But it would have been cool to be a more, like, full-on closed helmet than just a little bit off the face and chin. I think it was maybe to help, you know, when the actors talk on screen. But nevertheless, it's really nice, really cool. I really like the overall, like, emblem inside the helmet. I really like the gold. It's really wonderful. It's beautiful. It's great. And it doesn't remind me of that Legacy Gold Ranger whatsoever. Next up is the Ultra Gun, which is really nice. There's a lot of silver into it. And I really do like the fact that a lot of the pistols in the Ultraman series are, like, kind of more pointed and jagged at the barrels to make it more like a laser rifle or a little pistol. So at least, like, when people see it, it's not mistaken for almost a real gun, because, like, what the hell are you expected to do? Like, write, what is it, scribble knots or something? You're going to shoot a beam and it's going to, like, draw something for you? I like the fact that, you know, the holster can hold it in place. It's not just like a molded piece. I just don't think it gets in the actual holster too well. Like, trying to push it in, I don't think you should force it. But I don't think that it's intended to go all the way in either. So, yeah, be careful. Don't damage it. Because if you force it, you could break the holster or break the gun. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Here we have the video receiver. It's pretty much like their communicator, like, say, for Power Rangers fans. It's like the wristwatch thing, but this is actually has, like, a small video camera in it. It's pretty much like an iWatch. It's literally, before the iWatch was invented, they put it on their wrist, they talked into it, they looked into it, they communicated through it. And it's just a simple wrist mount swap out, where you take off the hand, and then you just slide this in place. It's not that great, it's not too special. There's not really any molding or detail in there, like an actual screen feature. So, I don't even see the use of why give this accessory. I guess it was just to be more screen accurate if we ever maybe get other characters from the Ultra Garrison. But I doubt we're getting anyone past, you know, Don. Like, who else would we get anyways? An? Will we get Anne? I hope we'd get Anne. Anne was hot. And finally we come to the actual Ultra Eye. You have the one where it's actually held in his hand, so he can actually transform into Seven. And it's nothing too special. It's molded into the hand. It has some clear plastic to look through the eyes. And then you have your regular one, which I don't know what the purpose for this really is. I guess it's to be like in the scenes where he's either dropped it, have it taken away from him kind of scenes, where most likely we'll have Kaijins and Seijins be able to hold it and pull it away from him, or you just have it like in scenes where it's like all the way over here and you could be like trying to reach out for it. But I don't see a real purpose of having just this little one hanging around when you just need really this one here to recreate transformation on screen. And it's kind of funny though, now thinking about it. They went right to Dan, but they skipped over Hayata. Is it just because he's more marketable? Is it because Koji Mitsurugi is more just popular in general, other than the fact that his show is more popular? I don't know. I would have thought they would go right to the original Ultraman. Or maybe he signed the deal and Kurobe didn't sign a deal for his likeliness. Who knows? I don't know. It's evaluation time, and for my final evaluation, S.H.Figuarts Dan Moroboshi is probably one of the all-time best humanoid Figuarts released thus far. Now, I don't have that many of the Star Wars ones, nor have I actually reviewed any of the Star Wars ones. On top of that, the only other humanoid Figuart or human Figuart I've reviewed is actually Tony Stark, and that was kind of a flop. But from what I've seen, what I've had, what I've owned, what I've touched, this is probably one of the all-time best and one of my all-time favorites. Now, the good thing about this is the very first Tokusatsu-themed human Figuart being based off of Koji Moritsugu, who actually played Dan in the series Ultraseven. We have two more coming out, which is Retsu Ichijoji, Kenji Oba from Space Sheriff Gavon. We also have Takashi Hongo, a.k.a. Hiroshi Fujioka from the original Kamen Rider series. And thus far, I'm really glad that Moroboshi turned out great. My only hate for the figure is that it's so freaking solid. The actual joints make weird creaking sounds that annoy the hell out of me. That's my only hate, that's my only flaw. But I think that a lot of the detail put into the body, his face, and his accessories are really spot on. And the fact that, you know, he was the first choice is a little bit weird, but when you think about it, with Ultraseven being one of the most popular Ultra series of all time, and regarded as probably the best in the entire franchise, I completely understand why. So many people are going to get this, whether it's accurate or not, due to their nostalgia for the series and overall love for it. And honestly, comparing 7 to Dan, their heights don't really match up, nor do their scales. It's a little weird, it's a little funky. Then again, I'm not too sure if the actual actor and the suit actor matched up that well. I'm going to look at more photos later. But nevertheless, though, if you've really enjoyed this review and you really think that this figure art is great, leave a like, share it to a friend, leave a comment, and subscribe if you already aren't subscribed to my channel. As well as you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'll see you all next time with more freaking S.H. Figuarts reviews, mini-plot reviews, and Doyle's DVDs. I'll see you all next time.